Here are the crew. Purpose of this video is so we'll have instructions for lowering the pole in case this group isn't here in years to come.
40-foot. Smitty calls it the boot.
This is called the boot?
I call it a fairing. There's the boot.
Okay.
Fairing, there's the boot.
There's the boot.
And we have a special box of tools, and these tools are just for the lowering of the pole, not for anything else. And they should stay in the box, and the key for the box is in the key box in the office. Smitty will show us how to get it out. Okay.
All specialty tools.
Here we go. We're talking about taking the halyards off.
Taking the halyards off the yard arm. As you look from the aft end of the pole, which is the American gaff side, looking towards the water, they start from your left to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 14.
They're different lengths. That's why they have to come off and be numbered.
Different lengths. Just a little bit. A couple inches on this one, a couple inches.
The belaying pins are attached with a cotter pin. It has to be removed from the bottom, and they need to be lightly sanded when they come off. We have to attach two 40-foot lines to these turnbuckles, which control the yard arms. So we'll attach the lines here to take the weight off of the turnbuckles just before we lower it.
Secure the lines and
now taking the fairing off the bottom of the counter.
Do we have a screwdriver or something to...
No, I meant just go back.
Oh, you can get a picture of this when we get it all set up.
Okay, well, this is the winch. It's stored in the workshop.
Went around.
In the storage room, and it'll be there along with the red box of tools.
I hope you have guys have those lines.
Fairing comes off.
That tooth was really deep.
This is what we call a boot. Richard has in his hand here, and we'll install that now. These are two 3/16 longer bolts that are in the red box.
They're inch and a half. They're inch and a half. 3/8, 16 inch and a half. They're in the directions. All spelled out there. You're not going home, are you?
But I guess you have to take it off.
Terminology, it's called a bolt.
This is the boot. This is to prevent the cable
being cut.
from being cut.
It has to come up a little bit.
Underneath that.
So slide it forward.
Slide it forward. There's underneath that arm there.
This looks like a WPA project. Right there.
Right there, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, now he's got a big socket over there. He's got a big socket, a breaker bar.
By he means as in you. Yeah.
Actually, I think that stays on there. This one stays on there. Now hook the other one onto the eye of the flagpole. No?
There.
You want the instructions?
See how it goes? Yeah. Power is coming from the caissons right over there.
Right.
And back there, where it gets its power.
Here, gate.
Be full width. You can. This is engaged. It stays engaged. You power down and you power up. You don't let it free fall because the pole weighs approximately 1.5 tons by itself. Okay. I am taking up the slack. He is guiding the strain cable through the pulley here. Okay.
We need the toe clamps in place now.
All right, now you take the big wrench and we'll take the toe clamp. No, want the top nut only.
Top nut.
Okay, you want to do it?
Now, boys. Wait a minute, wait a minute.
I need a little beef
Come
here.
on.
Yeah, here. Let me hit it. There we go. Thank you. Oh, okay. Goes on like that.
These are what they call the toe clamps,
That's a toe clamp. Yep.
one on each side.
And what, is that what this one is?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that one is.
That's the unpainted toe clamp.
Oh no, not an unpainted one.
Somebody,
For gosh sake.
somebody found a use for that painted one and ripped it off.
I can't believe
We
it.
don't know where it is.
Can't find them. On your instructions,
No.
Richard, on your instructions, can you change that one to a 4-inch wide U-channel?
Oh yeah, I can change the drawing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean.
I can change
Because
the
this
drawing.
worked out perfect.
Okay.
Fences on the other side.
Pretty simple and straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah. And the brackets to hold it on is 1,515 pounds. They weighed me when I got ready to leave down there where I had them cut. And they are solid steel. That's 6-inch solid steel. How the toe of it goes under there?
He also has a
Take the
drawing
yard.
showing that.
This is true, but people a lot of times don't look at drawings.
Now that
If nothing else works, we're going to use this
sled.
our own head.
Okay, we are going to lower the yard arms from each side here.
Go down slowly.
The halyards have all been marked so they can go back on.
All the seagull stuff is obvious now.
There's not much varnish on the top either.
Okay, now we're going to stop when we get fairly close.
Been
here,
3
Billy,
years
with the cross arms so
since
we
this
can.
was down.
Okay, hold it. Let's hold it right there. Now let's take up the halyards and curl them up on their respective spots so the guys can cart this thing off momentarily.
Okay, we've got some strong arms here as our Commodore.
Okay, you got the weight?
We're a long ways
stand
from
on my
needing it.
tippy
We
toe.
got 4 guys.
Okay, are we ready?
Sure,
All right. Too late to turn back now.
Don't ask me to walk in any direction quickly here.
We better secure these
Who's
Okay.
gonna guide the pole carriers out?
Okay. You got your end loose there, Steve? Yeah. Enough?
Probably out this
Okay,
way.
you'll probably
Nope,
have
here,
to.
I'll undo
You'll
it.
probably have to scoot the pole forward enough to get around the bushes, and then head on out towards the parking lot. You'll need some guidance in that direction. Smitty, this goes out by the shop, doesn't it?
Correct.
We do have a correction. We said the pole is up for 3 years. Actually, it's been 4 years. Smitty says it came
I
down.
was going to see if
This
that
mark
would
on the
work.
curb is where the pole comes when it's lowered, and this dot right here
I was going to put the 2
is
barrels,
as far as it extends when it's down.
and they got to go over here because she put a plant in here.
Right now, we're getting a brace to hold it once it's down.
This is for falconry.
The bolt at the bottom of the
Okay.
mast has been backed off.
I have a splitting wall
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.
tension on there. Okay?
What's the tension on there? Okay.
Hold it. Are you taping?
Yeah.
I put just lightly tension on it. The nut is backed off, not quite all the way, so we can tap it.
You won't booger the thread. We're against boogering thread.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you want me to take the rest
Take,
way out?
take it rep by still leaving the nut on there. Take the washer off too.
Maybe it's that word.
Here, let me tap it in first.
Throw it out. You gotta have something.
Just like that. Okay? Can you pull it out on that side?
It's coming, it's coming. Give it another ramp.
You may need a longer drive pin.
It's coming. There we go.
Okay, here we go.
There we got it.
There we go.
Yep, you gotta
Pull
put
a little
more.
more. A little more.
We're holding pressure on a gaff line out there. Here she goes.
Pretty clear, especially at the gap.
Hold it.
What
Come back again. Take it back. Richard, I got it too close, it hits.
Yeah,
Our boot.
What
The
hit?
boot hit.
Well, the boot is hitting on this bar.
Come down. Down where it just about touches the ground. Right there. Okay. Let's get
Okay, now we have to take
the brace off.
the brace off here and move in the hardware.
This fitting is going to have to be turned around.
And then removing the brace.
everything.
Going to get caught up there.
We got it. We got it.
That tree has grown from 3 years ago.
4 years ago. We just said it was 4 years.
It's grown. Has it been 4 years?
Yeah, that's what he's.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Anybody have
So there you have it, folks.
You got the,
Pulls down,
I'll use this here.
and we will finish it and
You
then
better put that in the shop.
Okay.
film it going back up.
I can cap it.
And we're taking the gaff off. It's just easier to work on it.
Vibrated.
Easier to paint the metal parts.
We fought and fought and fought to
And
try to get the damn thing.
we're using little sanding blocks, best described by Smitty as Pistons. Okay, Smitty, anything else? Any parting words?
Yeah, that once goes back in the shop until
Oh.
they get ready to raise it again.
And Smitty's not going to help you anymore.
That's what he said.
That's it. This is the last time. But I'll be here.
Okay, this is the day of the resurrection. And the
I
first thing
forgot
we did was to put
But once
the
you get
gaff
into it-
back on. And then Bob is putting the gaff support on, which we can't hook up until after we raise it a bit.
The curved part of the support goes on the pole itself. Okay?
Again, we are hooking up the winch and putting the toe clamps in place. Just for the record, I might add that we have put 6 coats of varnish on the lower portions of the spar and yard arm and the gaff, and on the upper parts of the gaff and on the yard arm we put an additional 5 for a total of 11. We hope to get at least 2 years out of it. And Steve is installing the line for the pig sticker, which has to be done before we raise it, of course. And, the yard arm has had the pulleys reinstalled for the halyards, and be noted that each one is a little bit wider as the diameter of the yard arm gets bigger. If you don't do that, you'll have to bend them. And also the holes were epoxied this time and had to be pre-drilled. That ought to last another 10 years. Anything else? Steve is lashing the line to the pig sticker here.
Okay, when the gaff is in place,
Okay, here we are hooking up
This is the way it was
lines,
just now. We
cables
haven't changed it.
okay,
So it needs to be.
just
for
a
the
second.
halyard.
This is
Hook right.
this is the wrong way for it to go. It needs to go the other way.
Well, we're showing you the wrong way. Here we go. Now Don will do it the right way.
What we're trying to do, Tom,
You're going to wear out my batteries with all this narrative.
is to get the we want the cable with the turnbuckle end on it going down the.
Pole side.
Yeah.
We want a fair lead here.
Okay.
You can get it switched this way, and that's
Yeah.
the way it was. We want it to go down this
Right,
way, so
okay.
this block has to be oriented
Good
correctly.
point. Okay, at this point we raise the pole up slightly so we can get the brace on the gaff. Bolted here. And also note that we attached the lines
And make sure you
to the top of the gaff before we raise the pole. Okay, after a bit of touch-up with the white paint, we are ready to raise. And the Smitty's final instructions were make sure nothing gets tangled on the way up.
The lines.
As the pole is upright, align the hole before you put the bolt in,
It's virtually all bare.
and it may
And at the top,
take a touch with a hammer. And once the bolt's in, then you can remove the winch and remove the little guard that Richard has taken off now. We've raised the yard arm. We didn't get any photos of it because the cameraman was one of the ones that didn't doing all the work. But anyway, once we get it up in the saddle, we rock it back and forth to make sure we have the turnbuckles tight enough. And once it feels like it's not rocking in the saddle, then that will be enough, and the job is complete. And then make sure that the cotter, or excuse me, the pins are all in, the turnbuckles are tight. And one of the final project completion is the belaying pins, which Bob Coleman is so beautifully handling. And Steve here is going to raise the burgee. And from start to finish, it took 2 hours. But who's counting? Nicely done, gang.